What up, Kraken Pod Fam? Oh, all right. Let's this is probably not gonna be a long one. That shit was fucking depressing. I'm gonna start this off the only way I know how, and that's by having a drink because what the fuck? Trying to keep it down. It's late over here. I apologize. It is almost midnight. That is a big reason why we have not been doing, by we I mean me, Kraken Pod After Dark lately. The game's been getting over like 1 a.m. It's just been fucking brutal. So just I kind of honestly just have to suck it up and keep going. Anyways, Kraken Pod After Dark, we are rolling. Let me have some wine and then we can talk about this fucking game. Unbelievable, this fucking team. All right. Oh my god. I don't even know where to begin. I can go over game notes really quick. Um Awful fucking start. Gru did not look good. First goal didn't look good. Then he gets ran the fuck over. It was unintentional. It was a hockey play. It happens. Second goal also did not look good. I saw somebody was talking about there was a clear screen. No, there was not. I mean, that puck was so fucking. I mean, he just wasn't tracking it well. Don't know if he got hurt or not. Here's the thing: like me and Jeff are tweeting things in real time, right? So we're watching the games. We're tweeting things. We're saying things in real time. So when we see, Decord come in, there's a lot of talk around that. Is it going to happen? Whatever. Gru isn't seeing the puck well. And so I tweeted out, I'm like, yeah, I think this is a good idea. Like, Gru doesn't really have it tonight. Decord has beaten Calgary, and Gru is really good against San Jose. Gru, just got the last couple starts. I don't understand why the fuck he's in net tonight. That's a weird call by Hack. Decord should have got the start to begin with, period, whatever. Have to move on from that. With that being said, we're tweeting this in real time, right? So we're watching the game. I'm like, oh, Decord's coming in. There's no information. Like, it's all speculative about Grubauer being potentially injured. That eventually comes out, and people are so quick to get so fucking upset. Like, oh, are you sure you should be saying that? Looks like Grubauer's going to the locker room. Motherfucker, I'm watching the game in real time just like you. Like, well, I'm just reacting to what I'm seeing. I just think it's funny, man. People need to chill the fuck out. Just, I don't know, crying over stupid ass shit sometimes. Moving on, because we're all rooting for the same team here. Dundertaker's on fire, which is awesome to see. Jeff has been on the Dundertaker love since day one. I mean, if you go back, listen to the first season of the podcast, Jeff is literally beating the drum about how much he loves this freaking kid. Has a goal. That's 7 points in his last 7 games, 1 goal and 6 assists. His 17 points lead the team. And then again, I'm making the note here. The goal by Gru was not good. He got trucked. He probably wasn't feeling too good, and it was good that he left the game. We had to give the Kraken a chance, and the reason why, let's again, speculative. He left the bench for a little bit, went to the locker room, came back out, was sitting. So if I had to guess, he's going to be okay, and hopefully he gets the start against San Jose, because Grubauer against San Jose is typically really, really good. Anyways, throw all of that stuff to the side. Let's just say that this is all hypothetical, whatever. Decor got brought in because Hack was like, you know what? Gru isn't seeing it tonight. Let's bring in a goalie for the second and third period. I would actually agree with that move. I don't think that he should have been the starter to begin with, but it doesn't matter. And I say that not as a knock against Gru, which he wasn't seeing the puck well tonight, and he got ran over, possibly hurt. Hopefully he's okay. But one of those things where it's like the team has won 2 games in a row for this second time all season. The biggest thing that I have been talking about is how they need to get fucking momentum going and build on these wins. And they're playing these teams that they should listen, actually, I need to change that up. I keep saying like they're playing these teams that they should beat. The reality is, like, we don't fucking know who these guys are capable of beating on any given night, because we still don't really understand the identity of the Seattle Kraken. There's some things we understand. The PK is shit. The PP, super strong, top 10, very hard PP. That's looking good. This team loves to give up fucking leads, loves to go to overtime. That's the 8th overtime game so far this season. Are we like 20% through the season? The all-time NHL record is 30 by the Boston Bruins. I think that was in the early 2000s. I have to look that up off the top of my head. I mean, I don't understand it. I had a note here. Shots on net in the third period. Calgary 15 to Seattle Kraken 4. That's it. That's the fucking game. I mean, I like that Allison Lucan afterwards, and they're doing the post game thing on Root Sports right now, and she's talking about, like, yes, over the course of a game, it's natural for the team that has the lead to be protective of that lead, which the Seattle Kraken were doing, and the team that's down is going to be more aggressive because obviously they want to score to force or tie or win the game. That's obvious. Now, with that being said, the Kraken fucked up. 15 shots on net to Calgary's 4 in the third period. A handful of chances in overtime that they just did not completely passed up. Tolvanen towards the end, wide open. I mean, like, that dude had a fucking shot and just decided to circle the track and ultimately pass it. Beniers, same thing. Had a clear shot on net in overtime. I'm like, okay, here we go. Let's be a little aggressive. And they were gun shy. And it was fucking ridiculous to see. I'll say it one more time. 15 shots on net to Calgary, 15 shots on net to the Seattle Kraken 4 in the third period. That's the game. The Seattle Kraken play to not lose instead of playing to fucking win. That is an identity that this team has showed us a million times. And it's so infuriating because this is just, it's ridiculous. It's inexcusable. The game, oh my God, the game in Edmonton, I mean, they handed away a 2-goal lead. They had a 2-goal lead going into the third period. They end up losing. Hat trick to Kane, which is fucking disgusting in and of itself. This game, have the lead, for the most part, look like the better team. Shut the fucking door, get the 2 points, and move on. Can't do it. I mean, the difference, if you think, listen, we can be like, oh, well, at least we're still kind of in the hunt because they're going into, overtime or shootout, so they're still going to get a point. But okay, then flip it, because this game should have been a win. Edmonton should have been a win. That would have been 4 wins in a row. That's 8 points that the Seattle Kraken would have locked up by now. And the fact that they just did not do that because this team can't fucking close. Great opener, but this team cannot fucking close. Like, the Seattle Kraken are the dude that you would take to, or friend, not just a dude, any friend that you would take to a bar with you. And if you're like, I'm here to meet somebody, and you would be like, hey, you're going to initiate all the conversations. And then when that person's nice and warmed up and they're feeling loose, like they're having a good time, maybe a couple of drinks have been shared, that's when you swoop in, because the Seattle Kraken will not close. They will initiate, they will start, but they will not be the closer. They actually might be the perfect person to take to a bar, depending on what you're looking for. Anyways, it was ridiculous. 15 shots on net to 4, third period. Mangiapane, is that how or Pane, whatever. I'm still so fucking horrible I can barely enunciate my own last name. He ties it late 3-3. And that fucking sucks. And it sucks because not only is he the one that ties the game, but he's the guy that was cross-checking last time that we played them, cross-checking Father Canner down onto the ice, and he ended up getting called for it. It fucking sucks because I would like to see, I'm not asking for I'm not asking for retaliation, or I'm not asking them to go out there and just do some fucking hood rat shit. But I would like to see this team care. That's what I thought was huge against the Canucks the other night. Did everybody notice the physicality that the Seattle Kraken were playing with? I mean, like, look at Father Canner, for example. Literally went after 3 dudes on the same play. He was so fucking tired by the time he got to the third dude, he pretty much just blew him over because he was like he's got no energy. But like, the fact that we were playing with physicality, I honestly think made the difference against the Canucks. And it's like, you have these guys, Calgary, that's not really a good fucking team, handle your business, but they're doing cheap shit to one of our better goal scorers on the team. And there's nothing from anybody in any kind of response saying that, hey, we're not going to take this shit. And then that's the guy that ends up tying the game at towards the end of the third period. Like, fuck that, man. Like, at some point, this team has to care. And it's so fucking frustrating because, like, the skill is there and it just has to, I don't know what. Again, this is why I had November 24th as my panic button date. So if you've listened to the podcast, you know what I'm talking about. And I'm not saying, this team is done and I'm giving up, but I'm giving them a certain window of a sample size to show me who they are. And so far, this Seattle Kraken, like we have very, very, very brief moments where this team has given us like a reason for hope, right? It's like, okay, game against the Islanders should not have been that tough, but you know what? Like an 8-round shootout, we'll take the win any fucking day of the week. We took that win. It was great. Move on. Next game, Vancouver Canucks in Vancouver. Awesome game, start to finish. Physical team. Thought we were the better team. Handed the Canucks their first loss in regulation at home all fucking season so far. That's a fantastic win. Build off that win. Now you're back home going against Calgary, and look what happens. I mean, it's just inexcusable. Like, you look like you're the better team. Gru didn't look so good in the first period. He gets trucked, may not be hurt. He comes back to the bench. Everyone can fucking breathe and chill out on the goalie shit because, oh my God, people get so triggered by it. It's ridiculous. Decor looks good at first, and then, gives up the goal late in the third, then gives up the goal in overtime. And he's, kind of extends himself trying to make a save. They get the rebound. That's a wrap. It's so infuriating. I don't know. I mean, like, again, this team plays not to lose the game instead of playing to win. And it's been biting them in the ass over and over and over again. Like, I don't know what fucking Dave Haxtell needs to do to right this ship, but it's not. Whatever is going on has not been working here. I'm trying to think. Data energy with the goal. I don't know what's going on with Eberle, but that dude is like attracting pucks in the net. So let's just keep him going like net center. Like, just keep him right there. And then Father Canner, of course, gets the goal tonight too. But it doesn't matter. Like, I honestly don't give a fuck about any of that stuff. And I don't think the players do too, because at the end of the day, you lose 4-3 to Calgary when this is a game that you should have fucking won. I don't care if you're taking away 1 point from it. I just don't. The game is so inexcusable. I mean, this is the 8th overtime that the team has gone to so far this season. How many games have we played so far? I mean, Jesus. Unbelievable. All right. I got some comments. Curtis, you're a good dude. See, and while I do agree with this, I see a big fucking problem with it, because it's the difference between 1 point and 2 points. I mean, again, the game in Edmonton, we have a 2-goal lead in the third period. This game was ours. And again, we're playing not to lose instead of playing to win. And at some point in the season, it's going to be an issue. I don't know, midway, 3/4 of the way through, when we start looking at the standings and it's like, oh shit, we're, 8, 6, 8, 10 points behind contention for whatever. And it's like, oh, it would have been nice. All those fucking games that we had these leads late, if we shut the fucking door and got the 2 points instead of getting the 1, that is going to be what kills us later on. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be a problem. And it's great. Like, we can try to spin zone it and be positive and whatnot. I'm telling you right now, in that locker room, they're not being positive. This is another fucking game the Seattle Kraken are looking at like we should have won, and we gave it away again. I mean, they've been talking about this. I was going through notes and like preparing for the podcast because we're recording a new episode tomorrow. And I was going through notes and I was looking at some of the post-game interviews. No, man, I totally agree with you. I'm trying to be positive too, but I'm too much of a realist. With Jess just calls me fucking negative Nancy over here. But no, man, like I was looking over some of the post-game, whatever interviews with the players after the game in Edmonton. And they're echoing the same things I'm saying now. Like, Jordan Eberle was like, we just keep finding these ways to lose. Like, I mean, like that, and that's what they did again tonight. It's like, but how much rope do you have, right? I mean, at some point, yeah, brutal. Hey, look at that. Rush Anthony was actually at the game tonight. He was not working at Boeing. So, yeah, that's good, man. That's good. All right, let me go over some quick comments. I think I covered all the notes for the game that I took. I can't believe that. I keep saying I can't believe. I very much can believe what's going on. I still, again, when I look at shots on net in the third period, Calgary has 15, Seattle Kraken have 4. That's it right there for me. I love Larson, but dude's got to get his head in the game on D, bro. Just watch shit go by. Yeah, he's done that a couple of times. That play that he had when he did that in Edmonton where he picked the wrong angle. And, don't get me wrong. He was going against Connor McDavid, who, is the best hockey player in the world. But I mean, dude got completely fucking owned. It was such an easy goal. At some point, that shit has to stop. Or you would think it would. I don't know. This is hard. Listen, I'm glad, like, I'm pulling this comment up again, that Rush Anthony, like, was at the game tonight. It was a rough loss, but he had some fun. That's awesome, man. I'm sure if I were there, I'd have a great time too. I'd be pounding booze and fucking screaming and having a great old time. I just have an issue with this team right now, and I think it's a bigger picture issue. And I gotta pull this comment up because it's hilarious. Like, Melissa's like, no Joey Lasso. Like, yeah, no. Jeff doesn't fucking get it. Like, I'm not, and I don't. How can I word this? This has nothing to do with hockey shit because Jeff will skate circles around me when it comes to that area. When I say he doesn't get it, what I'm referring to is he doesn't get what it's like to be a Seattle sports fan. I mean, like, this is just the reality in which we live in. Like, no other fan bases or teams no other fan bases, right, from other teams can really do or like inflict damage on us, because the maximal pain we will ever feel are from the teams that we root for, because that is Seattle sports fandom. And the Seattle Kraken, holy shit, it's honestly kind of impressive. Like, in their third year of ever existing, this team is right up there with, like, this is some serious Seattle sports shit. I mean, it's actually kind of impressive if you think about it. I mean, the running joke with, like, the Seahawks, right, is that, like, the Seahawks have never played a normal game ever. I mean, you're, 20 some odd % through this season, and the Kraken have played 8 overtime games every time they go to a shootout. I mean, they had to go to a fucking 8-round shootout to beat the Islanders the other night, who had lost 6 games in a row. I mean, like, this is, you just never know. You never know what you're going to get with this team. And then right when you think you have them figured out and you, like, might be starting to lose hope, they do things like go to the Rogers Center and hand the Canucks their first regulation loss at home all season. I mean, like, that's the frustrating part about this team, because, like, everyone is watching these games. We see the potential. We know what they are capable of doing, but consistency and being able to build momentum off of previous wins is so freaking is everything. And this team has not been able to do that. It blows my mind that, like, they're still struggling to find that identity. I don't know. It's kind of a trip. And I love this troll here. Who do I want to make captain? I cannot disagree with Jeff more on this. I mean, and listen, he was like, this might hurt you, and I'm going to say it. I'm like, then fucking say it. Like, I don't give a shit. And he's talking to me, and he's like, I just think that this is a thing where you don't know the sport of hockey that much, and you are wrong, because I think naming a captain would help the team. I'm not saying that I think that the team would be worse if they had a captain. I'm saying I don't think it solves anything. And I also believe that doing it at this point in the season would just make the organization look fucking desperate. Like, they're grasping for straws, trying to find a way to really gel this team and get identity going and all of that stuff. And I'm anti naming a captain. I'd be like, are we seriously pulling, like, this is where we're at right now? Guess Haxel's ran out of ideas to coach. Like, he's about to get fucking fired. Like, that's where my brain would go. It would not be a good place. I'd be like, oh, we're really, really desperate, and this is not good. I don't know. Those boys just need more time on ice. And yeah, man, you're doing your great, Bowie, right there. We need a little bit more vitamin defense, dude. Gerald, I couldn't agree with you more. I'd have to look at some of, like, the metrics and stuff tonight, but eye test wise, it's like, I don't know. Sometimes it's there. I mean, the very beginning of the game, I mean, when Calgary scored in the first minute, that was some of the most insane shit I've ever seen. And I say that in the sense of Calgary has the puck, offensive zone, Kraken's defensive zone. And all of us are just watching them cycle it around and just kind of take turns shooting at the net. And the Seattle Kraken skaters are all flat-footed. Like, no one seems like they even want to be there. I'm like, were you guys, did the team go out last night? Like, what the fuck? What is going on here? And then Calgary ends up scoring. I'm just like, Okay. Like, I don't know. It was the weirdest shit. I'm like, nobody had any interest in chasing the puck whatsoever. I mean, the fact that we were able to come back, I mean, and what I love about momentum is like you feel the momentum shift in this game, and it really did. Excuse me. Give me 1 second here. I should probably drink some more wine. Whew, excuse me. Momentum is huge. It's huge within games because you can actually feel it. Like it's a very, you can't quantify it, right? Like this isn't like a stats thing. Stat man. This isn't a stats thing, but you can feel it in a game. And the Kraken had it tonight where they were able to swing that momentum back their way. And that's been one of my biggest things I've been talking about all season. I want to see the Seattle Kraken be able to build momentum off of big wins and keep using that moving forward. They have not been able to do that. The game against Vancouver should give them plenty of fucking mojo, taking it back to some Mariners shit, giving them plenty of mojo to go in there tonight and handle fucking business against Calgary. Now you lose in overtime. Now you're back to square one. Now you're in the locker room. Now Haxtell's pissed. Now the guys are down. It's like, you guys really want to do this roller coaster all fucking season? Because we're watching and it's fucking miserable. So anyways, moving on. Why can't we control our own momentum all the time? We're going to beat the Sharks in overtime. Dude, I'm already thinking about it because like the next game that we play is against San Jose. That game could get real ugly or real, thank God, really quick. I mean, just imagine the scenario of like, I'm not putting this energy out there. Seattle Kraken loses to San Jose. Oh my God. Or flip it the other way around. What if Seattle goes against San Jose and we beat the living fucking brakes off of them? I would love to see that result happen. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to. All I know is that the pendulum for how fans are feeling about this team right now is going to really swing based on the result of that game, which is unfortunate. But the team has kind of put themselves in that position. That's kind of just how I feel about it right now. I mean, I don't know. The whole thing has honestly been a little disappointing. I tweeted out from the Kraken Pod account tonight. As soon as Anderson scored the game winner in overtime for Calgary, I audibly out loud, like, didn't yell, didn't fucking whatever. I just said, "You're fucking kidding me." And I think that's verbatim what I tweeted out because it's exactly how I felt in the moment. I'm like, of course this happened. Like, I don't know. None of us know what else to say. I mean, this is par for the course. This is what we've been used to all freaking season so far. And if this is the way that the season's going, I might have to disassociate a little bit to protect my mental and emotional health because this fucking roller coaster is unstable. I feel like we're all in a toxic relationship. I mean, Jesus Christ, we keep coming back. It's like, the Kraken dude, like I said, I keep bringing this up, like the win in Rogers Center, massive win against one of the hottest teams, if not the hottest team in the NHL. That's like the fucking ex that that you shouldn't go back to, but doing something like getting you flowers. And you're like, well, shit, that was really nice. And then you go back and then Calgary comes into town and you fucking lose in overtime. And you're like, I don't know why I'm back here because now my ex is fighting with me again. I feel like a fucking, that's what the Kraken are, a fucking toxic relationship. And that's what we're all in right now. We just have to be honest about that. So anyways, all right. Does anybody have any comments or anything else they want to talk about? Because I don't know what else to say. And again, actually, I will say this one more time. But please, if you're here or whatever, thank you and all that good shit. But like or do whatever you want to help get the word out there. Also, I brought this up when I first started this stream tonight, but I did want to say that the reason why I have not done Kraken Pod After Dark for the last couple, it's been like a week or so, because the games have been getting over at 1 a.m. our time. They're brutal. All of these overtime games are seriously fucking my schedule up, Jeff's schedule up, and it's just it has become something that is not the most sustainable. So I honestly had to kind of take a break for a little bit for like my own mental health, because I'm getting up at like 7 or 8, whatever it is in the morning, but I'm doing Kraken Pod After Dark at like 1 and then going to sleep at like 2. That's kind of an issue. So, you know, if the Kraken could stop going to overtime, that would be great, because for us, puck drop is usually between 9 and 9:15. These games run late. So I would love to, and honestly, this is why I love when the team travels, because not only do I think they travel well, for some reason, like this team, when they're at Climate Pledge, they're like, oh, hey, Kraken fans, you know, thanks for paying, you know, taking out a second mortgage on your fucking home just to have some drinks tonight. Do you mind if we shit the bed? But then meanwhile, when they're on the road, they're super competitive. I do not understand it. And I love this comment right here from Melissa, because, dude, I am so fucking pumped. Next week, I was making a note about this when I was preparing for tomorrow's episode, which we were recording bright and early. I'm jacked on this, because I admit I love watching Connor Bedard play. I don't, you know, I'm not the only person, right, who watches hockey who says that. Also, we get to see our boy Duncan Donato, or as Jeff famously called him, can of Clamato Donato. We get to see him go against his former team. That'll be a little bit of a tearjerker, but also selfishly, because they'll be traveling, and that means these games won't be as late for us, so we can do more Kraken Pod After Dark when I'm not running the risk of waking people up at 1 in the morning. What's going on here? 5:30 on the 29th. We'll be there. I'm so jealous that you're going to be there. That's freaking awesome. Chicago's awesome. I've never gone to a Blackhawks game before, because honestly, fuck that team. But Chicago in general, I'm a huge fan of that city. So that'll be really, really cool. That's right. And Korchinski from the T-Birds also play. There's a lot of like T-Birds ties into the Chicago Blackhawks. It's kind of fucking annoying, because the way that they keep bringing these dudes over there, it's like, dude, don't make me like you. Like, I don't want to like you. I feel like you're a trash organization, but you have all these weird ties to the Pacific Northwest. And it's kind of fucking me up. Anyways, that's where I'm at. But yeah, that's what's going on. And that's why, Kraken Pod After Dark had to take a little bit of a break. Again, I believe I covered all of my notes for tonight on the game. If there's anything that I'm missing, please let me know. Anderson with the game winner in overtime. Shots on net were, just 15-4 in favor of Calgary in the third period. Joey Decord was standing on his damn head until, at the very end, a couple got by him, and that was all she wrote. He was put in a tough position. He didn't get the start tonight. He ends up coming in the second and third. I think Grubauer is going to be fine. He left the game, did not come back. He went to the locker room, was not on the bench. People were freaking out. Of course, Twitter goes nuts, because it's what we do. But then afterwards, he is spotted back out on the bench again. So that's really cool, because it shows that he's probably not really that injured. If anything, he was just shaken up. He got completely ran over on a play that I don't think was intentional at all. I just think that it was a hockey play, and shit happens. It also negated a goal. So that's good, because the Kraken were about to be down 2-1 real quick. So glad that happened, or 2-0. I don't remember. Anyways, I love you guys. I think I'm going to be calling it here soon. It's like 12:15 hour time, which is not too bad. So that's why I hopped on tonight. I appreciate the comment from you and Jeff of the pod. I don't think we're ever going to do a Patreon, man. I appreciate the support. Like, we appreciate the support a ton. I just feel so weird being like, hey, we're going to do some extra stuff, but you got to pay to hear it or whatever. I don't know. Like, it's just not something that we've really talked about. Like, we just got to keep grinding away and doing our thing. So, if you really want to help us, let's find some companies that want to sponsor the podcast. That would be huge. Like, we have so many things we need to do, and because it's just me and Jeff, it's just really fucking hard sometimes. But whatever. I've talked about this before. I don't need to talk about it anymore. Not a problem, Curtis. I love you too, man. Happy to do it. Melissa, you're great as well. I'm happy to do it also. That is all my notes I have on the night. I'm having a glass of wine because this team went into fucking overtime again, 8th time this season. I don't. The Kraken might beat the all-time overtime record right? 30 by the Boston Bruins. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, this is a great question here. Merch profitable. I will be. Here we go. Here's some a sneak peek, a little behind the curtain action. See, the wine's already starting to slow me down. So I'll answer this in 1 second. So, long story short, no. We broke even, which that was our first time doing merch. That is honestly for me, that was best case scenario. And we learned a lot. I was honestly happy with it because my biggest thing was when we started doing it was that I wanted to create stuff that was high quality and also a good representation of the podcast. And I think we accomplished that. Like I was fucking pumped, like the Beers for Beniers koozies. The mugs are insane. I don't know if anybody here has one, but like they're legitimate fucking, like I remember showing like some people in real life and they're like, dude, you guys made these? I'm like, yeah, we didn't fuck around. Everything turned out great. I was really happy with it. I don't even have a Beers for Beniers t-shirt, which I really regret not grabbing one of those. I mean, I'm sure I can just have one printed out, but anyways, no, we ended up breaking even and and I'm totally fine with that because it was a first time run. And the biggest reason why we did is because I found out that coffee mugs are fucking expensive. Like really expensive, like really, 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 like that was the biggest, holy shit. And the way it works is you have to order like a certain amount up front. So if you're short on them, whatever. Anyways, long story short, those fucking mugs are no joke to make. And that's completely fine because I picked like the highest quality of everything. I will never, ever, ever, ever fucking ever do anything that I think might save me and Jeff a couple of dollars here or there and sacrifice something that could be of quality that we can give out to people. I will never do that. He's the same way as I am. We don't believe in that stuff at all. So I'm happy to do it. But yeah, we've already had some designs for the next go around. Actually, and now this is the last I will say on this because now I'm just talking about podcast stuff. Actually, when Jeff came over the other day and I was giving him his Good Vibes Only mug because he broke his last one because Jeff hates the Kraken and he wants us to fail because he's really just a Red Wings fan. He's been trolling us the entire time and he got me in trouble with Avalanche people. So, no. So when he came over, I discovered that there's still 2 boxes of like mugs and we have like a handful of koozies and some stickers and stuff left available. So I want to like package that stuff and get them out to people. We'll probably just tweet them out. I kind of want to do like one giveaway, like just kind of bundle everything and do a giveaway. And then for some other things, honestly, just sell them. Just be like, hey, here you go. Like we'll sell this shit for whatever we paid for it. So it's all good. Anyways, I'm talking about podcast stuff. This shit is boring. Aside from the results of tonight, there we go. My voice just hit puberty. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I might honestly just do it just soon, just to kind of like not like get rid of them, but I mean we have some fucking leftovers, and if somebody wants like a mug or a sticker or something or a koozie, because the Beers for Beniers koozies we get asked about all the time. So we gotta take care of that. But anyways, aside from tonight's fucking shit result, you know what? Let me be positive for a second. The Kraken got a point. So the Kraken get a point. They should have fucking got 2, just like in Edmonton. This team's infuriating. Wednesday, San Jose Sharks. I swear to God, they need to win that fucking game. I'm still keeping the 24th as as my panic button date. So that's where I'm at. Excuse me. All right, I think someone's making cookies. All right, sweet. They're going to eat some cookies. All right. Kraken Pod Fam. Love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for all support. Thank you for everything. We'll be back. We'll be back online and talking shit. So thank you guys for rocking with us and have a good night.